All right, what's going on, everybody? This is a 4,000 mile review of my 2019 Honda CBR500R. So I guess I'll start with, this is probably, in my opinion, one of the better beginner sports bikes. It's a 471cc cubic centimeter engine, 47 horsepower. So just enough. I looked at some R3s, some other bikes, the Ninja 400, I think. Got a great deal on this. It is a little pricey. I think retail MSRP is around $6,500. I got it on sale, so I pulled the trigger instantly. Thought maybe I'd regret it, but so far I am absolutely happy. It's been all around fantastic. I have had no issues with the bike so far, so fingers crossed that it stays that way. And man, I've had a lot of fun so far. 4,000 miles. I got this in August, so maybe 6 months. What is it? Yeah, something like that. It's been fantastic so far. I haven't really made any upgrades other than the tail tidy, of course. That hideous thing had to go. I painted the rear sets by myself, black. They were silver. They stood out, looked pretty bad. And then also the heat guard on the exhaust I painted black. So I think it kind of fits in a little bit better, kind of under the radar. But so far, all good. Gas mileage is fantastic. I average, let's see, almost 60 miles per gallon, so not quite that great on the highway, but average for 60 miles a gallon is pretty solid. I get about 220 miles per tank before I have to fill up, so I'm really happy with it. The looks, the style of this thing are fantastic. It looks like a super sport without actually being a super sport bike. So if you're looking to show off, I guess that's what I was looking to do. This is the bike for you. Definitely go check it out. I haven't made any changes to the bike yet, just because it's a smaller cc bike. I just really don't see the point in it. I just plan on paying this thing off and then upgrading. I've been debating on whether or not sticking with the Super Sport, or I really like the looks of those Yamaha XSR 900s. That's what catches my eye right now. So if I was to do anything on this bike, I think the first thing would be a chain and sprocket swap. I think that would give me the most punch for my buck. Get a little more acceleration out of the gate, so I'd be gearing down. But I'll probably wait till this chain is about ready to replace. We'll see if I even get there. My original goal was to get 20,000 miles on this thing, so we'll see. If I have this thing for a year, I'd be surprised. So 20,000 miles would be pretty impressive, but we'll see if we can get there. I'll have to take a couple longer trips. But speaking of longer trips, this bike is pretty good for that. I've been on a couple of rides, topping about like 3 hours. Seat is pretty comfortable. It's a little hard after a while, but no complaints yet. The handlebars are raised up a little bit higher than most like super sports, so I get some back pain on the highways, but not too bad. Nothing that I can't deal with. No complaints there. And speaking of highways, this thing can handle perfectly on the interstate, keep up with traffic. I tend to ride a little bit faster than the flow of traffic. That way I'm kind of making decisions. I can see what everybody else is doing, and I'm not letting people come up right behind me and around me. So that just kind of depends on your riding style. That's kind of how I like to ride. But yeah. Anything else? The size and the weight. I think this weighs 430 pounds wet, which is just about perfect. Maybe a little bit heavy for a 500cc, but I knew exactly what I was getting when I bought this bike, so I'm not too concerned with that. And with it being a little heavier and a smaller CC bike, you don't really get blown around by semis and stuff like that on the highway, and it works pretty good. So really stable steering. Haven't had any wobbles or anything like that happen yet on the highway or anywhere else. Brakes work really well. I've tested them pretty good out here on the twisties out here at we're at Canyon Lake right now. Can't see the lake. Oop, there it is, barely. But there are some pretty cool roads out here. A lot of fun, a lot of twisties. Really make you learn a lot about yourself as a rider. So I spend a lot of time out here practicing, trying to get better, but front brakes are pretty good. I might replace the levers here pretty soon, just so I can get some shorty levers and kind of get used to that for when I do upgrade to another bike. That's kind of on the list of stuff for me to do. So other than that, the style, the looks, it's all sweet. The dash looks really cool when you turn it on. Let's see here. Cool LED display, neutral sign, all that fancy stuff, which I really don't care about. That's why I've been looking at the XSR 900, the neo retro look, kind of like that old school look. I'm not into all the electronics and all that stuff. I feel like it's just distracting, but just depends on you, how you ride, what you like to ride. Alright guys, well that is just gonna about do it for the 4,000 mile review of my 2019 Honda CBR500R. This has been a fantastic bike. I'm really happy with the purchase. If you're a beginner and you want to get into motorcycles, you like super sports, you like sport bikes, definitely take a look, see if you can find a good deal on one, maybe a used one. I think it's definitely worth it to start on something a little bit more reserved. I've heard guys, they kind of start on something a little bit out of their league, and then that kind of ruins the experience, whether you get in a wreck or you just get scared and you don't ride motorcycles ever again. So this has been absolutely perfect. Really don't have any complaints. Like I said, I knew what I was getting into when I bought it, so it has been perfect so far. So check out some of my other videos that I have riding. It handles really well, and we'll see you in the next one.